Hello my fellow cats, Koku Cat here. In this video, I will show you 20 redstone doors for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Minecraft Bedrock Edition includes Minecraft Pocket Edition, Windows 10 Edition, Xbox One Edition, PlayStation 4 Edition, Minecraft for Nintendo Switch, Gear VR Edition, and Fire TV Edition. But these doors will not work on Minecraft Java Edition, Minecraft Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 Edition, PlayStation Vita, or Wii U Edition. This here's the classic Jeb door. Ta-da! It operates with 4 repeaters. Well, 5 if you count the top one. These 2 set to 4 ticks. The other 2 on the other side also set to 4 ticks. And they all need to be connected to each other. The ones on the bottom, 1 tick, and the same on the top. And they operate with these redstone torches in this principle, that the redstone torches activate these pistons, and the block on top, therefore activating these ones. This design is good because it can be built on Bedrock Edition, and it's relatively the same to the one on Java, just a bit larger. And these wires just connect everything to the lever. As for the next design, we have the 2x2 water source door. Many people have these in their bases. It's just a 2x2 water source to get water, but it can also serve as a secret entrance. Now what you'll need is a double piston extender. It's really simple. It's just a double extension. 8 ticks for these 2 repeaters, and 4 ticks for this repeater. Now this is exactly the same thing, except it's vertical. And you don't have to worry about that one. That's just a single tick, and it doesn't really matter. But what you need are these and these. This still matters. I just put a repeater there as an example. And it's all connected to the lever at the top. You will need signs here and an immovable object such as obsidian here. Okay, you've seen the first 2 doors. Roll intro. This door is the zipper door. It's relatively simple. Just a line of torches and blocks. And these pistons. These have to be solid blocks. And at the bottom, we have a redstone line with a lever. And that is a very nice animation. Next, we have the double slime block door. It's just a double piston extender attached to 4 slime blocks with some immovable objects on the top, obsidian specifically. It's like a regular door, but better. Good for an ordinary house. And moving on to one of my favorites, number 5, the super secure B door. For this, we need a good sir, aka a bee. And we shall spawn the good sirs. Yes, spawn my minions! Yes, we need a lot of good sirs. Okay, so they go to the flowers above the hill, meaning that they'll want to live here. But when it becomes night, all of the bees should want to go back into their hives. And if you didn't notice, these doors are actually beehives. So we can lock the door and shut the bees inside. And then we can be greeted by a bunch of bees when we enter in the day, if your bees choose to live here. It's especially great if you like living like a hobbit in a beautiful hill. See? Greeted by a bunch of bees, or in my case, good sirs. It's also great for security, because, say, someone wants to invade your home, perhaps. If you were to break this block, I've already broken the block and aggravated them before, you will be stung by a ton of bees. They attacked me the first time because I already broke the block. And the person would likely die if he were to be stung by bees. Or the bees would die. Okay, maybe it isn't that secure, but still. We have number 6, the secret vault door. It retracts a bunch of stairs, revealing a secret vault. You can use the stairs and the secret room to hide the valuables vault, or you could use the valuables vault to hide the secret room. Whichever you find more valuable. And it functions with this principle. See anything particularly different about this? That's because it's actually a stair block. This too. And it kind of camouflages well. But if it's cobblestone, only someone with eagle eyes would be able to spot the difference. I bet you can't spot the difference. Now, what you will need is a staircase of pistons, basically, attached to 2 sets of stairs that have to camouflage each other. And for over here, where the door is supposed to be closed, pistons, redstone torch, block above the redstone torch to keep this piston powered. And the exact same thing for the other side. Now, we have the solar activated door. Believe it or not, this door is actually activated at night, contrary to its name. Lava spews. And your door is locked at night. And then, once it's day, the door deactivates and you can enter your house. It's particularly good if you don't like monsters invading your house, or burglars who come during the night. What you will need is some droppers, both containing lava buckets, an observer here, sending redstone vertically with, and at the bottom, you need 2 pistons, no, sticky pistons, with these blocks. A very convenient little door, and you'll need a daylight sensor set to yellow mode, rather than blue mode. Otherwise, it'll activate during the wrong time of day. This door is the hidden bone meal door. Personally, I think dandelions are the best possible flower to use. Ta-da! You're wondering how I did that, aren't you? This is actually Observer behind the fence. Believe it or not, this still links to here. Sometimes it takes a bit more than 1 bone meal, but the Observer detects a flower, and it sends a signal to the T-flop. Now, don't get intimidated when I say T-flop. It is really simple. See the cycle? Just apply it to a bunch of droppers and 1 hopper here. And then it basically turns a lever into a button. And you will need 1 block inside of here. Nope, not in there. In here. Personally, I prefer grass because it's easy to get. And they all need to be facing this direction. I recommend to repeat it here because a comparator output of 1 block is just 1 length redstone signal. So these essentially just power these pistons, closing the door and opening it. The T-flop helps a lot in this situation. This next door is a really, really sneaky one. The trash can door. It's a fairly inconspicuous trash can. Nothing shifty about it. If I were to put any random item into it, nothing happens. But if I were to place a stick, a 2x2 slime block door opens. I promise this isn't that complicated. But don't pay any attention to this for now. Just pay attention to this, the item filter. You'll want to build this exact design. I recommend a barrel because it looks more like a trash can. And this hopper won't be visible if you use a barrel rather than a chest. You'll need a comparator with a hopper facing this way, running redstone into here. By the way, solid blocks, not slabs, for these, with a redstone torch, keeping this hopper powered, keeping the item from going into this barrel down here. And I recommend this to be a barrel rather than a chest so you can open it. And a hopper going into this way. These will need 4 signs and 6 of one item. This needs 1 item. And this needs the item that you're putting in to open the door. Because when this item is retracted, the door's open. The comparator here actually detects the presence of the item in the barrel, therefore opening this door with a double piston extender. You'll also want immovable objects like obsidian and an immovable object, so that way you get the 0-tick redstone signal from here. See, very simple. Now to the one that is the thumbnail of the video, the lazy 3x3 piston door. It's lazy because I was too lazy to make it an actual 3x3 and just put a glass pane there. And it can be closed from the inside. The glass pane changes shape based on the blocks next to it. Nothing too complicated down here. Just another T-flop, as I explained in the hidden bone meal door. Comparator output. Redstone signal to the sticky pistons. Redstone torch. Yes, I know you're jealous Java Edition players because this redstone torch can be placed on a piston. Redstone here. Going down to these ones. For the bottom redstone, it's just 1 piston right here. And this is the signal output from the button here. Going back to the T-flop, turning the door on and off. This actually works because this sends a signal to this redstone dust, powering this dropper. That's part of the T-flop. And you thought I was really lazy because I only made a T-flop and a door that doesn't actually extend a full 3x3, don't you? Well, I'm here to prove you wrong. A full 3x3 piston door. This is basically the same thing as this one, except we have a double piston extender with 2 slime blocks here, and 3 immovable objects. Unless you like having holes in your floor, of course. Now we have the exact same thing, T-flop here. Pistons. Comparator from the T-flop output. A double piston extender at the bottom. Yeah, you may have to make this a tiny bit compact. This prismarine line makes it more clear because this is a bit compact. This button output goes back to the T-flop. And same thing as last time, Redstone Torch Java Edition players are jealous. And voila. Fancy door. The next door is the musical door. You see a jukebox here, don't you? Yes. These chests are actually filled with the game's 14, including music disc, pig step, music discs. But believe it or not, you can actually hide barrels under spruce wood. And you can hide music disc, pig step, or, my favorite, music disc weight. I'm kidding, my favorite's actually music disc cat, under the barrels. So that way, you can lead your friends trying to open the door on a wild goose chase so they can't find the correct music disc to input into the jukebox. And music discs actually generate a redstone signal when placed behind a wall. Weight generates the longest one. If the jukebox is purely hooked up to redstone rather than a comparator, it'll generate the lowest signal, but you'll need a comparator, which will trick some people because they'll assume that it's just hooked up to a redstone, unless they don't understand jukebox redstone at all, in which case your door is completely hidden from them. You basically need to connect that redstone output to this. And you'll need exactly 12 blocks here because I believe the signal strength for this is 12. And same on the bottom. This here is the lectern chicken switch door. Basically, this door uses a password to open the door. So if I enter the password, which is 46, the door opens. You're wondering how I did that. No, don't get intimidated by the redstone. It's really just a simple red coater. You will want to copy the exact design. Of course, you don't have to use prismarine and dark prismarine. I just did it because the blocks stand out. You will need a ton of repeaters on this layer. Behind here, redstone torches. Up here, another redstone torch and another repeater. All repeaters must be set to 1 tick. And this is how the red coater works. If I turn a page on this lectern, the torch will actually shift from activated on here to activated on there. So that's how you get passwords. And you just want to link up the desired torch to a redstone line. That'll go to the place you want to power. And this is how I made it so that the door would open. Chicken dispensers. Dispensers with chicken eggs. And I know what you're going to say. You can't do this in survival. You actually can. If you lure some chickens into this little pen, you can actually use pistons and fence gates to get them on the pressure plate, as you would if you only had dispensers and a golden pressure plate here. First chicken is pushed in when the red coater activates the right line. See? And then the second one will be pushed in. Well, if that hole wasn't there, this would have generated the same signal strength as this. By the way, it has to be, this will generate a signal strength of 2 if there's 2 chickens standing on the golden pressure plate, which will power this torch. So this is a 2-digit password. If you wanted a 3-digit password, you would just make 3 lines and then the torch and then your door. This is probably one of the more complicated doors. The next door is the cobblestone generator door. And as the name suggests, the door is actually renewable and generates with its cobblestone. Here we have a clock circuit with a bunch of repeaters, which activate these regular pistons. You don't need sticky pistons, just regular ones. And if you want to make a specific top, you can add obsidian. Now for the difficult part, opening the door. Believe it or not, golden pickaxes are actually better than diamond ones for opening doors. Sorry, I'll just move this out of my inventory. Don't use stone or wooden pickaxes. It's a nightmare opening these with stone and wooden pickaxes. Opening it, by opening, I mean breaking the door, because it regenerates. With iron is okay, and diamond, and netherite, no one really cares about netherite. Except for hardcore players. And you can just break it. And the door will regenerate, and you can enter. Right. The next door is the Mountainside Shulker door. This door is quite simple. You may need an extreme hills biome with a vertical cliff like this, and a double piston extender with a block of stone, and three ones with stairs, 3 blocks of 3 stone stairs, with a boat and a shulker. This shulker we'll call Grumpy. So all you need to do is know how to get a shulker inside of a boat. Here you go, Grumpy. You're a test subject. And voila, Grumpy is in the boat. Now you just push Grumpy a little bit. We push him until he's on top of that honey block on the double piston extender. Come on, Grumpy. No grumpy noises, Grumpy. There we go. He's on that honey block. Now we just have a double piston extender surrounded by obsidian. So that way the honey block doesn't move the immovable objects. And we also have a torch ladder for sending, well, not really ladder, but for sending the redstone signal vertically. I'll explain what that is later. And the emeralds are to quantify height. So that way, if we flop into survival mode and flick this lever, Grumpy comes out, and Grumpy shoots us with this little Shulker bullet, and we should be floating. Thank you very much, Grumpy. Then we float up to the top, and voila, the door is open. Very, very fancy door. And if we want to go out, we can just go down this little water stream, and we'll take no fall damage. Now, the height of this actual thing, I put the sign up here, the height of the number of blocks Shulker can levitate you is 17 blocks above the Shulker. Ouch. And now for an explanation of this vertical redstone sender. It basically is 1/2 of the classic jump door from earlier. That's all it is. And it pushes this block into the mountain, up this 17, well, it doesn't push it up the 17 tall, but these emeralds are 17 blocks tall. It quantifies a 17 block height. And this is just a set of double negatives, the redstone torches, activated whenever the classic jump door activates. Now for the next door, maybe one of my favorites, the sliding wood door. None of your friends will ever expect this. You use an axe to cut the log, so that way the door opens. It's not complicated, I promise. I'll just repair this. So essentially, three slime blocks will move this observer up. And when this log is stripped, it'll activate this piston, pushing this onto here, activating a T-flop, which we explained in an earlier bone meal door, activating the soul circuit, which retracts these with a double piston extender on these 3 slime blocks. You may want to copy this exact design and the exact repeater formations. And you may want an immovable object, so that way your floor doesn't go sliding down when the door opens. You may want to look at it a bit more, just so you build it correctly. Now, number 17. They're mammals, not fish, Finn. Now, if we take an aquatic mammal, that's right, Finn. Dolphins are mammals. I had an argument with my friend over that earlier. He thought dolphins were fish. And we go down into our lovely looking fish tank and spawn some dolphins. And we feed them both raw salmon. They both step on a golden pressure plate, which is the same principle as the chicken. 2 mobs, aka entities, activate the T-flop, and which is basically the store. Now this has 2 complicated mechanics. If a dolphin is fed a fish, it will search for the nearest shipwreck. However, there's a flaw in this mechanic. It'll just search for any old underwater chest. So if we put a chest that is underwater right next to the pressure plate, then the dolphins will swim towards the chest. And when they do, the pressure plate over here, the golden pressure plate with 2 dolphins on it, will activate this T-flop, which again we explained in the bone meal door, activating this door. Now for number 18. The hidden rail trapdoor. Quite a nice entrance. If you were to step in the minecart, this activator rail, placed exactly 10 blocks away, the door must be 10 blocks away from the activator rail. You can send a redstone signal down through the detector rail, straight to another T-flop, activating the door momentarily. You'll need to set it for 1 tick, and then a comparator with 2 repeaters equating to 2 ticks, activating the door. You'll also want a redstone torch on this side, which I guess equates to 3 ticks with those other 2. And you'll want a sticky piston here. And yes, sticky pistons can actually move rails. It's a bit of a revelation. This door is the really simple door. You can use it as a storage sector for your sticks. Or you can use an item frame. Anyway, it is simple. I've said a ton of doors are simple in the past, but this one is probably the simplest one in this video. It's just an item frame with a comparator behind it. And it changes the signal strength based on the position of the item inside the item frame, which is why sticks are best for signifying this, or feathers. Opening up secret room. And now for the final door. I feel this is fairly self-explanatory. Here we have the dreaded Jonesy from Fortnite. Fortnite streamer fresh. Keely. Him. The game developers at Epic Games. Ninja. And him. So this is what I'll do. You're probably wondering what I did with laser beam, aren't you? Here it is.